How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Wi-Fi battle. Today we're on a battle versus Cody in the OU tier from the Discord server. Looking at their team, they got that Hydrapple. They've got the Weavile with Triple Axle probably. Greninja's always a big threat. And they've also got the Slowking, the Volcarona, and the Iron Hands, big threats to themselves. Hoping Blastoise can put some work in here. Hydrapple already goes down to the Ice Beam. Surf's going to sting everything on the team except from the Greninja. And we have Aura Sphere for Greninja, so that's not too bad. The Galarian Slowking needs to be weakened, and the Iron Hands needs to be weakened for that. Great Tusk can handle that. So let's lead off with Galvantula, get them Sticky Webs up, because they don't have a Hazard Clearer. And we can definitely take advantage of that. And the battle begins. Good luck, have fun, Cody. They're going to lead off with Slowking as we lead off with our Galvantula. So I'm kind of glad it's Slowking and not Weavile, because Triple Axle, obviously Weavile outspeeds Galvantula. Triple Axle bypasses the Focus Sash, so it wouldn't have been a very good time. But this is a better one. So let's go for a Sticky Web real quick. There we go. They have no hazard removal, so those Sticky Webs are up for good pretty much. Unless one of their Pokemon has hazard removal that I didn't know about. They go for a Flamethrower though, that's going to do minimal damage. And now what I'm going to do is, I don't really have the best switch in here other than Registeel, but it can't really do anything in return. So I'm leaning towards going for a nice and powerful Bug Buzz. Looking at their team, I think we're fine doing that, so I'm going to go for a Bug Buzz. Let them take out my Galvantula, no problem there. As long as we can weaken the Slowking somehow. They go for an Ice Beam expecting a switch though, which is fair enough, as Galvantula does go down. So we lost Galvantula, but we got the Sticky Webs up, and we got a Bug Buzz off on the Galarian Slowbro, so that's always nice. So now I'm leaning towards what to do next. I'm thinking Iron Boulder, because Mighty Cleave hurts their entire team really well, except from the Iron Hands, which we have a Zen Headbutt for, so it's like, you know, maybe. So let's go Iron Boulder real quick into old Gaia.bot over here. I really like Iron Boulder, it's a cool design. I know it looks a lot, it's very similar to regular Terrakion, but at the same time it's not. It's subtle little differences. I think it's more different from Terrakion than Iron Crown and Iron Leaves are. That's just that's my opinion. So let's go for a Mighty Cleave real quick. This should definitely do a lot of damage to anything that they bring in, except from the Iron Hands, as they do go ahead and switch out into Discord, which is going to be the Hydrapple. So Hydrapple comes in. Let's see how well it takes this. So gets caught in the Sticky Webs, which is always nice. And we go for the Mighty Cleave. There we go. Does some decent damage, to be fair. Now, we have got a switch in here. We have to be careful. We could go into Gouging Fire, but if they go for a Fickle Beam, that's going to be a bit of a pain in the bum. So, I'm going to go Registeel. I think Registeel is the best Pokemon we can switch in here. So, we're going to go ahead and do that. Withdraw our Iron Boulder into the Registeel over here. There we go. And we should be able to take any hit they want to go for. So they go for a Fickle Beam. They're going all out. It's that special ability, and it's still not doing nearly enough damage to the Registeel to warrant it staying in right now. So that's great. Absolutely fantastic. So we've got a couple of options here. I think personally we bait out the Volcarona here, and then we can Thunder Wave it. Or we bait out the Iron Hands and we go for the Iron Defense Body Press, get some damage on it. I think that's a good idea, so I'm going to go for the Iron Defense. They do withdraw the Hydrapple as expected. Let's see what they go into. Iron Hands, there we go. So Iron Hands is great. And the reason this is so great is because even if they Belly Drum, we've got a +2 in defense, so we can definitely still take a Drain Punch. They're going to get a Speed Drop as well. We go for an Iron Defense. There we go. Now we can go for a better Body Press, and that's going to do a lot of damage to this Iron Hands. So let's see how this works out for us. So going to go for a Body Press. We do outspeed. Doesn't do nearly enough damage, which is unfortunate. They go for a Swords Dance, which is unfortunate. And now we can probably expect a Drain Punch to come through. So that's definitely coming. A Drain Punch is, or a Close Combat. Hopefully it's Close Combat, but that would be more ideal. But I feel like it's more likely going to be Drain Punch, given the set that they are with leftovers and everything. So what can we do here? What can we do here? We could go into Great Tusk. Great Tusk can definitely take a hit. I think Great Tusk is probably the best option. I really thought Body Press after an Iron Defense would do way more damage than it did. But it's unfortunate. It hasn't, but it is what it is. So Great Tusk comes in now. They go for a Drain Punch. It's going to do minimal damage. It does give them some recovery, but at the same time, it's going to get them some Rocky Helmet Chip as well. So that's great. So Rocky Helmet Chip is there. Now I've got a couple of options. I can knock off their leftovers and they go for another Swords Dance. or I can EQ. Because looking at the team, they have no switch-ins other than the Hydrapple. So I think I'm going to go for a knockoff here, just to get rid of them leftovers, and also just to, you know, get a bit of chip damage off on the whatever they want to switch in. So they do withdraw the Iron Hands as expected. So we get a knockoff off on something. They go into Discord, which is the Hydrapple. That's great for us. They do have a regenerator, so they are going to get some health back. They get caught in the sticky webs, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. And we go for a knockoff, knocking off whatever item they've got, which is going to be the leftovers. So that's great. We don't have Ice Spinner, unfortunately, but it's fine. We're going to go into Registeel once again, and we're going to wall the ever-loving crap out of this Hydrapple. There we go. Registeel comes on in. Hydrapple looks amazing, by the way. It's such a cool design. I love it. They do go for a Giga Drain, which is obviously not going to do much to Registeel. And then what they're probably going to do is, they're probably either going to go Iron Hands or Volcarona here. I think they go Iron Hands, personally, because it stops them from getting Thunder Waved. So what I'm going to do is, I'm actually going to go into Gouging Fire. I think that's the best thing to go for right now. I'm going to go Gouging Fire. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Gouging Fire, expecting the Iron Hands, and looking at their team, we can go for a Flare Blitz on whatever we want. So we'll go Gouging Fire, like so. And hopefully they don't switch up moves and go for a Fickle Beam here, because that'd be a pain. That'd be a real pain if they did that. A real pain. They go for an Earth Power. That's fine. You know what? We can handle this. We can handle this. No problem. We've got a boost in attack. Let's go for that Dragon Claw real quick. So they are going to withdraw that Hydrapple. What are they going to go into? That's the real question. They're going to go into Slowking. So Slowking is one of the Pokemon we wanted to get out of the way for Blastoise, which is amazing for us right now. As we are definitely going to be able to get this Slowking out of the way with a Dragon Claw. There it is. Oop, there it is. A lot of damage. A lot of damage. So now, looking at their team, we can just go for a Flare Blitz right now. And that should definitely take care of the Slowking, sorry. Flare Blitz comes through. Slowking goes down. That's one less Pokemon out of the way. So, with that in mind, we need to break the Focus Sash, potential Focus Sash on the Weavile. Probably not Focus Sashed, but, you know, we've got to be careful. So, Greninja's going to come in now. And Greninja is a big threat. Greninja is a big threat in its own right. Definitely don't want to keep Bulwark. Do I? Or do I want to switch out here? Registeel's probably the best switch. Registeel's probably the best switch. But at the same time, I'm like, do I need Gouging Fire for anything else? Probably not. Maybe for the Hydrapple. Let's go into Registeel just because we have got the switch and we can save Gouging Fire for later. Because there isn't anything Greninja can really do to us unless it's randomly low kick, which I don't think he will be. The Water Shuriken, which is good to note. You usually only see Water Shuriken on the Battle Bond Greninjas, but obviously it's shiny, so it can't be Battle Bond. So I guess it's just Water Shuriken on the normal Greninja, which is fair enough. It's not Protean though, which is interesting. So unless you can get shiny Battle Bond now, I don't know. I don't think you can though. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go for that Body Press. I'm expecting them to switch out, but Body Press should do a decent bit of chip damage to whatever they want to bring in. And they're going to bring in the Iron Hands, so decent chip damage. And like I said, we just go into Great Tusk now, after we've gone for this Body Press. Go into Great Tusk, get some Rookie Helmet chip, get an Earthquake off, and that should be golden. So there we go, Body Press comes through. No damage, but it's whatever. No damage, but it is whatever. And now we can go straight into Great Tusk, who walls the Iron Hands to Oblivion. Withdrawing my Registeel, I'm going to go into my Great Tusk, which can, like I said, wall the Iron Hands to Oblivion, which is what we want. There we go. They go for the Swords Dance. They are setting up, which is good to note. They definitely go into Hydrapple here. So I'm actually tempted to go for a Stealth Rocks, just to limit that, and also to hurt the Weavile, and to hurt the Volcarona if they're not Heavy Duty Boots, and they're hurting the Greninja as well. So I am going to go for a Stealth Rock right now. They do withdraw into the Hydrapple, I'm guessing. Hydrapple comes in. Discord comes in. That's the Hydrapple. So with Hydrapple in, they get to go for whatever attack they want to go for. I have a feeling they're going to expect the Entei to come in, the Gouging Fire, and they're going to go for that Fickle Beam or Earth Power, one of the two. I don't think they go for a Giga Drain here. So I'm half tempted to go into Registeel, but at the same time, I'm not. I think I'm going to sack off Gouging Fire. And if they do go for a Giga Drain, then even better, we get a free Dragon Claw off. If they don't, so be it. It's whatever. So we'll go into Ifrit real quick. There we go. As they do go for an Earth Power, which is going to take us out. So, Gouging Fire did good work this game. Took out the Slowbro, which is what we needed it to do. And now, what I can do is, I can go Blastoise. We can go for Tera. But I want to weaken the Iron Hands a little bit more first. But saying that, I don't really have anything else to go into. So, I'm going to go into Blastoise. And what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to fire off an Ice Beam. I think Ice Beam will KO. Should KO. Should. Yeah. Yeah. Or do I Terastallize into a Fighting Type and go for a Shell Smash? No, I'm going to go for an Ice Beam just straight up, expecting them to switch out really into the Iron Hands. So they do withdraw Discord. What are they going to go into though? Are they going to go with the Iron Hands? Blake the Sleepy, which is going to be what? The Weavile. So Weavile does come in. Weavile does come in, which is unfortunate. We get an Ice Beam off, which is going to do minimal damage to the Weavile, of course. But it is what it is. Let's go ahead and go for a Tera because I'm expecting a knockoff right now, not a triple axle. And then we'll go for a Shell Smash or a Sphere. I think that's the best thing to do. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. If we pull this off, we pull this off. If we don't, we don't. It's whatever. I'm going to try to. Blastoise needs to come through there. We need to get a video for Blastoise. Blastoise's new model is amazing as well. Look at that thing. It's an absolute beast. Absolute monster. Monster. So let's see what they do. They do go for a knockoff, which is going to get rid of our White Herb, which is unfortunate. But at the same time, we get a Shell Smash off, which is amazing. So now we outspeed everything on the team. And we've got some great offenses to boot, which is great. Absolutely fantastic. So our attack is going to raise, our special attack is going to raise, and our speed is going to raise. Now we just go for an Aura Sphere, and we take something out, pretty much. I think that's pretty much it. So go for an Aura Sphere. There we go. Boosted by Tera. They didn't Terastallize. And we've got to be careful because they could Terastallize anything at the moment. They could Terastallize still, which could really bat us in the backside. But we'll have to see how it goes. In comes Volcarona. So Volcarona coming in tells me they're probably going to Tera here. They are heavy duty boots, which is good to note. They probably Tera Grass, if I had to guess. So I kind of want to predict that Tera and go for an Ice Beam. If they don't Tera, then we're kind of boned. I'm going to go for the Ice Beam expecting that though. They do Tera. They do Tera. Please let me predict this Tera here. Because if we can predict the Tera Grass, Tera Fairy. You know what? Still works out nicely. We get some decent damage off with the Ice Beam. I thought the Tera Grass, because Surf is going to hurt, obviously. We go for the Ice Beam. Gets a critical hit, which is nice. Get the freeze! Oh my god, Blastoise, what are you doing? What are you doing? We get the freeze. I thought Flame Body protected you from freeze. I guess not. Let's go for that Surf real quick. I should have gone for another Shell Smash, really. Should have gone for another Shell Smash there. It is what it is, though. Volcarona goes down. I didn't want to risk him out, foring out and going for a Tera Blast. You know? Because there'll be Tera Fairy, which is obviously a counter to my Tera Fighting Blastoise, so you know. Anyway, Greninja's going to come in now. Greninja's going to come in now. It could be Focus Sash, but Stealth Rocks are up. They are heavy duty boots, which is good to note. Let's go for that Aura Sphere. We're going to take a Water Shuriken to the face, though, which is going to hurt. They are Protean. I didn't see that earlier. Let's see how much damage this does to us. There we go. Hit 2 times. We go for an Aura Sphere. Blastoise is coming through right now. I can't believe we got the freeze on the Volcarona. That's incredible. Down goes the Greninja. And that looks like it's going to be GG because they can't Tera anymore. Hydrapple goes down to Ice Beam. But I think Iron Hands can live a Surf. I think it can live a Surf. So they could still pull this back. They could definitely still pull this back. So they're going to get caught in the Sticky Webs, which doesn't matter. And then they're going to get caught in some Stealth Rocks as well. We just go straight for which one's more powerful. Surf is more powerful. And it's still Stab. Because we are still a Water type. So Surf comes through. Can we get a KO? Not quite, as they go for a Drain Punch, which is going to be able to take us out. So we're in a bit of a pickle now. Blastoise has put in the absolute work today. Got the freeze on Volcarona as well, which is amazing. Absolutely amazing. But we got stopped by Iron Hands, and we've got the Hydrapple to look out for as well. So what do we do here? What do we do here? I think the solution is pretty simple. We've got to go into our Iron Boulder to finish up. And the only way we win this is by going for a Swords Dance here. Because they're going to go for a Drain Punch, right? Which is neutral. So Swords Dance then Headbutt should take it out. So I'm going to go for that Swords Dance real quick. They do withdraw the Iron Hands into the Hydrapple. Expecting a Zen Headbutt, probably. Because Hydrapple has naturally good defenses. So let's see how this works out for us. They're going to get caught in the sticky webs, which is always nice. And they're going to get some Stealth Rock Chip. We get off a nice and powerful Swords Dance. There we go. Now, our strongest move to go for is going to be the Mighty Cleave in this instance. Close Combat is more powerful, but Mighty Cleave is stab. So I'm going to go for the Mighty Cleave real quick. There we go. And with +2, should do a lot of damage. Doesn't quite get the KO, but it gets damage off. As Giga Drain doesn't get the KO on us. They get a critical hit, and it still doesn't KO us. Which means Mighty Cleave is now going to be able to finish up. So let's go for that Mighty Cleave once again. And this all depends on if Iron Hands can live a Zen Headbutt, or whether Zen Headbutt's going to miss or not. Maybe we should go for a close combat. They withdraw to get the Regenerator boost, which makes a lot of sense. And they're going to go into the Iron Hands. So Iron Hands comes in. Let's see how much damage this Mighty Cleave does. So they're going to get caught in the Sticky Webs and the Stealth Rocks, which obviously don't matter too much. They might actually matter in the sense of going for a Mighty Cleave here. There we go. Takes out the Iron Hands. So we didn't even need to worry about close combat Zen Headbutt, because Mighty Cleave does the job. So now we've got Hydrapple to deal with. In comes the Hydrapple. So this thing's now back at pretty much full thanks to Regenerator. Which is a good play on my opponent's behalf. If they were going to pull it back, this is how it's done. So, let's see if Mighty Cleave can KO from here. I don't think it does, but we're definitely going to give it a try. Mighty Cleave nearly gets the KO as they go for a Giga Drain to get a little bit of health back. So the Hydrapple is going to pull back for the Iron Boulder. But looking at the health they've got left, we should be able to finish this thing off with a Great Tusk's knockoff. If we can't... No, Registeel. Registeel's the best one. Registeel. Because if we fail to KO with knockoff on Great Tusk and they finished off with Great Tusk with Giga Drain, then that's going to be a fail. A big fail on my behalf. So we've got to go Registeel. Body Press comes through. Takes out the Hydrapple, and that's going to be the game. So GG, Cody. That was a fun one. There was a bit of hacks in there. Blastoise got to show some, it got to shine a bit, which is what I was after. So thank you for that. But anyway, here is the team. If you want to try it out, use the code at the top right corner of the screen. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you did enjoy, of course, leave a like, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff. And with that being said, I'll see you all in a bit.